Hey, Mike, we have another question from Terry Hooper on the Facebook page, and it's a kind of a follow-up to the last question. And this question is, what is the future of hominology?
Well, I'm not a big believer in prognostication, but this is a subject that I think is now pretty current. I think a lot of people are wondering what is going to happen at this point. And being as how we, amongst the community and the people who are in the know as to where things stand on this subject right now, we're supposedly on the precipice of proof. We're right at a point where there's supposedly going to be a published paper that's going to put across the hypothesis that the Sasquatch does indeed exist, and then, purport to prove that via DNA testing done from samples gathered all across North America. So with that's going to come the press conference, the announcement, and then it's just going to get crazy for a while, and the media are going to be going around, and they're going to be contacting Bigfoot groups and people like myself and others who are involved in this, and they're going to be wanting answers to questions. And the other thing is, people say, and that's in this context of what's going to happen in the future, sometimes people will bring up the fact that if we prove these things exist, aren't we also putting them in jeopardy then? And as I've said about that particular issue, well, yeah, obviously we will. But it's really too late. The die is cast in that direction. So we can't all retreat now and say there's no Bigfoot and think that'll protect them. There's going to be a time when I think there's going to have to be an interface between Homo sapiens and the Bigfoot, the Sasquatch, whatever they turn out to be. And in that case, who's going to be in charge of that? What is our government going to do about it? And then you have to bring into this discussion the fact that there are people who claim that that the government is already savvy about the Sasquatch, that they have captured them, they've studied them in different contexts, and that this has been kept a secret. It's a need to know kind of thing, as usual. So how is that going to play into this? What's going to happen to all the amateurs who have invested a great deal of time and money and effort into trying to show others that these things are indeed real and not illusory? What's going to happen to our museum, for example? Are we going to become obsolete? Is Bigfoot going to be now an everyday word and everybody will have Bigfoot as equally as everybody else? Or will there be certain groups that will still be singled out who can continue in this work? And the next stage, I think, would be habituation. Okay. Now, see, here in our study area, we're already launching into that because we feel that we have proven, at least to ourselves, that that the Bigfoot are just as real here in our area as they are anywhere else where people are claiming there are Bigfoot. We have all the trappings and all the indications. So we have already started an effort towards habituation. And it's not easy because we're in an area where there's a lot of private land, so we have to get permission from landowners. And that's a drawn-out and tedious process. And that's exactly what we're doing. So what's going to happen? Where are the amateurs going to go after this? Will they then be out of the picture? Are there going to be people running madly into the woods, opening fire on every hairy, upright thing they see because they think it's an animal and they want to shoot it down? Are we going to have reservations for these things? Will there be a Bureau of Bigfoot Affairs set up? Will there be agents that go and interface with these things? Well, no, not until we actually get so we can identify them, we can locate them, and we can interface with them. And I think that's still going to be up to the amateur researchers primarily, because we're more willing to spend the time, even if there's no money. So I think things will be pretty much the same, except that there's going to be a lot of people scattering around and jumping off with one group onto another, and a lot of positioning that's going to take place. But I just hope that whatever happens, that the mystery gets solved in a kind and gentle way, and that these beings get have an opportunity to interface with us in a very peaceful way.